Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim and I am currently doing a playthrough of Silent War 2.0 with the IJN expansion. We're playing campaign number 3, Turning the Tide. We're currently on week 3 of April 1943. Our current progress is we're at 239 ships sunk, for a total of 989,000 tons. A lot of that was pre-built into the scenario since we just started in April of 43. And our current subs lost are 13. We've lost one since we started the scenario. They were lost at sea during a transit event check. But before we get going, just a couple of preliminaries I wanted to mention. If you saw the last episode from week 2, we had a situation arise that I wasn't 100% sure how to deal with, where we had drawn a 32,000 ton battleship for a sub that was patrolling in I think it was in the Marianas. Which is fine, but then when we replaced that ship, we replaced it with a 40,000 ton battleship. And according to the Japanese battleship doctrine rules, only 32,000 ton and 68,000 ton battleships can be encountered outside of Empire Pacific, Sea of Japan, and East China Sea, and in our case also North Philippine Sea, since we're in War Period 3. But I wasn't sure exactly what to do with that. I did get confirmation from Brian Miller that when that situation occurs, you should just follow what it says here, that if you encounter anything other than those two types in another area, that the ship is returned and you reveal a different counter instead. So that's what we should have done, and if that comes up again, we'll do it that way from now on, but I just wanted to let you all know about that. Second thing I wanted to mention, there's a ongoing discussion right now on Board Game Geek about rounding and how the rounding is supposed to work in this game. There's a little bit of ambiguity on the attack side. Counterattack's very clear. The rules specifically say that you round up the ASW value of the revealed ships when you're going through the calculations. They word it differently in the attack portion, to where it leaves it a little bit open to interpretation on how exactly it's supposed to work. It says, so you do all these additions. So you add up all this stuff for the attacking submarine, and then you add up all this stuff for the target, part of which is the ASW value, which could have a fraction of a half in it. And then down here it says subtract the target's value, which is the part that could possibly have a fraction, from the attacker's value, and then parentheses round down to get a result and roll a die. So to me, that means you do the subtraction, because that says that first, subtract that from that, and then you round down. And that's the way I've been doing it. Because effectively, if you do it that way, it's the same as if you had rounded up the ASW value prior to subtracting it. You end up getting the same value. So I've been handling it that way. But then there's other people that think the round down, you do that to the target value first. Part of the ASW is part of the target value. So you round that down first and then do the subtraction, which would actually result in a higher value than if you do it the way I've been doing it, a higher to hit number. So if that's the case, I've actually been making it harder on myself, but in any event, we're all kind of waiting for Brian Miller to chime back in. He did give an initial answer, but he basically just said, follow what's written. But the problem is what's written isn't really clear. So we're hoping that he'll chime back in and say definitively, yes, you round this down here the same way you round up the value for the counterattack. You can see in the counterattack rules, it's much more clear. It says to add it all up and then round up the fraction. So it says all that prior to doing the subtraction. Perfectly clear. But they didn't do it that way. They didn't word it that way over here, which led me to believe, plus the sequence of the wording here, that you're supposed to do this after the subtraction. But we'll find out for sure, hopefully soon. In the meantime, until we do get an answer, I'm just going to continue doing it the way I have been doing it, just for consistency. But if I find out no, that's not the case, you're supposed to be rounding it down prior to subtracting the value, then we'll switch to doing it that way. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with our playthrough. So starting off, there was one other preliminary I wanted to mention. Someone pointed out, I mentioned in my last episode that I had created this consolidated DRM list and uploaded it to Board Game Geek. But then someone caught that I made a mistake here in the DRMs for the 2-hit roll. And I had these for the DRMs for cautious attack and aggressive attack reversed. I think what happened was I copied and pasted from down here and then forgot to switch the values, because you get a +1 DRM for cautious to the 2-hit roll and a -1 for aggressive, but then you get the opposite DRMs for counterattack. So basically aggressive is helping you and cautious could possibly hurt you depending on which TDC you choose, whereas in the counterattack, aggressive hurts you and cautious helps you. So I got that corrected. I've uploaded a new version of this file. It's waiting for admin approval. So once that's there, if you grab the previous one, make sure you get rid of that and use this instead, or you're going to be all messed up. So apologize for that error, but hopefully we got that corrected now, and I hope you guys find that chart useful. All right, now we can start. So our war event phase, no war event. We rolled a 5 on the black die. No torpedo improvement yet. So let's do our ultra roll, and we will remember to look at the proper row this time. First turn, I inadvertently, out of habit, looked at War Period 1 instead. So we got a 6. So die roll of 6 for War Period 3 is going to be the Marianas and the South Philippine Sea. So let's get those marked. And looks like we'll be able to take advantage of those. All right, weather roll is next for April. We only get tropical storm formed on a 0. Second die will be location if necessary. Nope, we got a 4. So again, no tropical storms this week. And then we will move to the RRR segment. So no reinforcements yet. Ready submarines. We don't have any that are pier side, so we're going to have to roll for all of these that are in the broom box. We'll start over here at the submarine tender. The pickerel here needs a 4 to be able to go ready for sea. 4 or less, he gets it. Up at Dutch Harbor, we have somebody here, the S-28 looks like. He is a 3 readiness rating, so 3 or less for him to go ready for sea. He does. got several here at Fremantle. Let's do them one at a time. So we got the Tambor needs a 5. He does. The Trout also needs a 5. He does. Very good. And Gudgeon needs a 5. He does as well. So they all get to go ready for C. Brisbane, quite a stack here as well. Tuna needs a 5. 0, nice. Drum needs a 5. 6, so he has to go pier side. S31 needs a 3. He gets to go out. The Finback, 0, he gets to go out. Save some of these zeros for attack rolls. And the Porpoise, he gets an 8. So these guys ready for C. These guys pier side. And then at Pearl, we just got 2. We can roll them together. We'll do black die for the Guardfish, white die for the Greenling. They both need 5s, and they both make it. All right. That was very successful rolls there. For repairs, we've got the Silver Sides here in repair box 2. He needs a 6 to advance or less. He gets a 9, so he stays there. And then we've got somebody up here, S35. In repair box 1 at Dutch Harbor. He needs a 5 or less. He gets to go to the broom box. Okay, that looks like everything for repair. So then the last part of Triple R is prep for operations. So we'll move all these guys up to their operating. Quite a stack there in the curls. Oh, and one more down here. Okay. That will do it for the Triple R segment. So when we come back, we'll start the operations segment. All right, we're starting our operations segment here. And I think, as I typically do, I'm going to get all these subs that are returning to base out of the way first, so that we can make room for new ones coming out and not have so much out there while the other ones on patrol are trying to do their thing. So we'll start here in the Java C. We've got the Grenadier returning to Fremantle. No transit event check required, but he will need to roll for his damage. And he got a 5, which is going to be light damage. So he will go to repair box 1 at Fremantle. Next we've got the Tautog here, also coming back to Fremantle. This is the area he left, so we don't have to count that box, and there's no red box in the Java C, so he also does not need a transit event check. He is not damaged, so he will go straight to the broom box. this guy, he's still on patrol side. He passed his endurance check last turn, but I'm a little leery of leaving a damaged sub out on patrol. So what I'm going to have him do is skip his search and contact phase, which means he can voluntarily RTB, which lets him do it this turn. Got the voluntary RTB marker for him. Doesn't go to the done section. Then he can move now and do the same thing, moving through the Java C there. Again, no transit event check required. We will need to roll for his damage. And he got a 3, which is also light damage. So he will also go into repair box 1 at Fremantle. Then we've got the Thresher. Needs to start making his way back. He will come down through the South China Sea into the Java Sea. In this case, he did pass through an area with a red box, so we're going to need to roll. He's got -1 for being transit side up. He is spotted, but we're not in War Period 1 or 2, so we don't need to worry about that. So I think the only other thing that applies is he did enter or leave a narrow or shallow op area, and we don't have radar yet. So we've got -1 for transit side up, but then +1 for moving through the shallow and or narrow op areas. So it's just going to be a straight roll. Only a 9 will matter. And he got a 6. So he will be in that area then and be able to get home next turn. Let's see. We've got the Halibut. He can come down through the Banda Sea to Fremantle. The Banda Sea does have 1 red box. So again, -1 DRM for being transit side up, but then +1 for going through shallow or narrow waters. So a 9 will trigger second roll. He did not get it. He will roll for his damage. And a 4 again is light damage. Repair box 1 for him. Okay, moving over here to Brisbane. Got a couple guys here. They're just right next door. So again, no transit event check. They'll just both come in and both go to the broom box. Then we've got a couple here that will be moving through the Solomons down to the Coral Sea. And again, no red boxes, so they don't have to worry about transit events. Put them in the done section there. All right, then up here, we want to try to get as many of these guys to the submarine tender here, because that way they're a little further out, don't have as far to go when they come back. So it's able to, it has a capacity of 7. Again, remember the counters did not get updated, so those are actually 1 less than what it should be. Now this guy, the Pompano, he attempted to go there last turn, but his damage ended up being more than just superficial. So since they don't have much of a repair capability at the submarine tender. He's going to have to move on to Pearl. So we'll go ahead and do him. And he will move through the Hawaiian Islands to Pearl. No red box to worry about. So now we'll roll to see what his damage as he comes into Pearl Harbor is. 1. Oh, now it is superficial damage. I guess it got better on the way. So he's going to go to the broom box at Pearl. The engineer was able to fix him up en route, I guess. All right. Now the rest of these we should be able to get into the Sperry there at Midway. So we'll do no congregating risk here yet. That's just 3. So as he moves through here to this op area, which the SMZ, or the forward base in this case, is connected to, he will have to do transit event check here, but with his -1 DRM, not possible to roll a 9, so he's okay. So he will go into the broom box here for the submarine tender. Let's do likewise for salmon. And same thing, only 1 red box, but with his -1 DRM, he's safe. So he will also go into the broom box there. And we do already have 1 there, so we're only going to be able to bring in 6 more. So we're currently at 3, so we can get up to 4 more in there. Let's see. Looks like we only have 3 more that can reach it, so we're in good shape there. Let's try the Scorpion next. He will have to roll for his damage. Again, no transit event check because only 1 red box, and he's at a -1. Let's see if he only has superficial damage and can dock here or not. A 3. Nope. He's got light damage, so he's going to have to move on. So he will move to the done section there. All right, and then these 2 can both, again, no transit event check required. So they will both move down here and go to the broom box. All right. Let's see if we have anyone else returning to base. I think that is it. We do have a couple that are still doing transit move on the way out. We decide. Let me pause here and think about how I want to proceed here, and then we'll continue with this. All right. While I was away, I realized a mistake I made up here. I had thought about it earlier and then forgot when I got to actually doing it. These 2 subs that moved out of the Coral Islands were 2 of the 8 that are being based out of Dutch Harbor. So I couldn't actually move them down to the Sperry there. They have to go back to Dutch Harbor. So, and there's no red box in the Aleutian Islands here, so they will not have to do a transit event check. If there had been, they would have been subject to congregating risk, since there's a total of 6 here, and then there would have been 5 when the first one moved out. So these 2 actually came back and went to Dutch Harbor. So apologies for that. But in my planning here, I think what I'm going to do is send these 3 subs that are currently in the East China Sea up into the Sea of Japan, which will then allow these 4 that are in the Empire Pacific to move into the East China Sea. And that way we can kind of get things shifting over more to the west here to open these areas up for new subs coming in. So why don't we go ahead and start here with Morton on the Wahoo. He will do a patrol move into the Sea of Japan. Now you'll notice it's printed on the board here, +2 to transit event when moving into the Sea of Japan. So we've got 2 red boxes there. We're going to get a +2 to our roll. We're not transit side up. Yeah, if Sea of Japan was an ultra area, it would only be a +1 for entering or leaving it. But I think that's going to be it. It's not narrow. We're leaving. Yep, we're leaving a shallow area. So we're also going to get a +1 for that. And again, that die roll will apply to all 3 rolls if we need to make the other 2. So we're going to have a total of +3 to our initial roll, which an 8 or 9 will be bad. And we got an 8 +3, so yep, we got a roll. Each of these get a +1. It's only a 2 and a 7, so see what that does for us. We're in war period 3. The first roll is a 2. So we're on this 0 to 4 row, and a 7. Just missed being spotted. All right, so he's good there. So now we do our search and contact. We're not in a narrow area, so it's just going to be a straight roll. And 9 and 3. So 9 is going to be high density. 3 will give us a small convoy. So a high density small convoy is going to be 322. All right, here's what we have. I'm thinking let's just go with column A. So we've got the most targets there. Put this off to the side here. All right, and I don't think we want to go aggressive, so let's just go standard, I think. We'll flip these 3. Okay, that is a destroyer. Oh, and our hospital ship is back. Keep running into that. And oh no, another destroyer hiding under a red ball. Well, this could be trouble. So let's get a couple of destroyers to replace these with. First one's going to be the Ariake. Ooh. 3 on that one. That's really bad. And then the second one, we got the Yugumo. All right, so it's gonna be a total of 5 ASW. Not liking that. See if our TDC markers can help. I think reattack is definitely out of the question here. All right, 0. That's not the help I was looking for. Not It's effectively a 0 since it's in the other column. So let's see if we can make a shot. We do get to add our super skipper value in, so our 7 becomes an 8, but then -1 for the torpedoes. So we're starting at 7. We have to subtract 5 for the ASW and 2 for the defense. No other modifiers because we're standard posture. So yeah, we can hit it on a 0. Let's see if we can do it. Nope. And then for the counterattack, we're looking at 5 plus 3 for the war period is 8 plus 2 red boxes is going to be 10. Our defense is 4, but then we get to add in the super skipper value, so actually 5. So we're looking at a net of 5. So we're on the 5 to 6 row. Need something low here. Oh, good. 1. No modifiers. We got no damage, not reattack. So yeah, 1's going to be, we're safe. But I don't think we want to push our luck, so we will withdraw. For our endurance check, we are an A rating. None of these will apply, so we need a 5 or less. 7. That's a shame. I was hoping to be able to keep him out at least 1 more week. But at least we can get him back. We got this little shortcut we can take here through the Coral Islands back to the North Pacific and get him back into that subtender next turn for a quick turnaround. All right, next we will move the Steelhead into the Sea of Japan. So again, a +3 modifier to the transit event roll. 9, yep, that'll do it. And this one has +1 on each. Oh, that's going to be bad. 10 and 7. So we're going to be on the 9 row down here, and a 7 is spotted, engaged, and damaged. Return to base. So he gets spotted and damaged. And we have to RTB. That didn't work out so well. Well, let's see how the Sunfish fares up there. Again, +3 to the transit event roll. 8. Wow. Yep, that's going to be enough to do it. We got 2 red boxes there. And a 5 and a 1. That should be fine. 5, 1. So no event for him. So he will roll for search and contact. And he gets a 7 and a 9. So he's going to find a task force. Looks like it's going to be high density, or not high, moderate density task force. So moderate task force 2234. So here's what the Gato encountered. We have a no solution here, too close, from column C. All right. Well, I think we're going to try and see what we can do over here in column D. We will stay, let's do standard. Yeah, standard attack posture. Let's see them all. Okay, got an armored merchant, 40,000 ton battleship. We are in the Sea of Japan, so that's fine. Of course, we'll see what it actually is when we replace it. Oh no, a diligent escort. So we can attempt to crash dive. We need a 0. Did not get it. So he is going to roll on his diligent escort row, and he only got a 1. No modifiers. So we eluded him for now. And let's see what this last one is. Oh, another destroyer. Wow. Well, this doesn't look like it's going to go very well. We need... So the AM does not get replaced, but then we need a battleship. And again, since we're in the Sea of Japan, it can be any type. But there's no way we're going to get a shot on it with all those. It's the Musashi. Yeah, 11 defense. I don't think so. And then we need a couple of destroyers here. First for the Diligent, he's going to get a +3. So he's actually a 5. Set this over here. And then for the other one, we got the Onami. That was the Hatsushimo, the first one. Yeah, that's a 5 and that's 2. So we're at 7 ASW, 8 with the Armored Merchant. So yeah, we're not going to have a shot at all. The good news of that is that there will be no counterattack then either. Yeah, I'm just going to put them on these guys just to make sure that we have no valid shot. Yeah, so our best possible one would be here, because that's going to bring his defense down to 5. But even at that, I mean, we're talking 5 defense, 8 ASW value. We're only attacking with 6. No shot. And so because of that, there's no counterattack since it's the first attack round. And we are going to leave. Definitely got more than we bargained for there. So we are an A rating, no modifiers, so we need a 5 or less. And we got it. So one of them at least gets to stick around next week. All right, then let's move these guys over here into the East China Sea. So the Pollock first. There is 1 red box. We're moving into shallow. So we're going to have a +1 to our die roll. 9, so we're going to do this. And both of these will get a +1 because of the shallow. Oh no. 9 and 5. 9 and 5. Spotted, return to base. At least we didn't get damaged, I guess. Okay, let's see if the runner can slip by the defenses here. Yes, he does. That's only a 7 and 9. Be the only thing that causes a transit event check. So he will search in contact. We're not in narrow, just shallow, so no modifier to this roll. 4 and a 7. 4 should be enough. Yep, that's going to be sparse. 7's going to be a large convoy. So a sparse large convoy is going to be 1211. All right, not a lot of options here. We got this one's too far, and this one has a bad angle on it. So let's go column B. We will go, let's just go standard till we see what we're dealing with here. Okay, okay. Now we just need this to actually be a merchant or something. No, it's a destroyer. Hopefully we can get one that's less than 3 though. Yeah, a little better. We got the Shiranui. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. -1, okay, looks like we're going after him. So, yeah, if this one was negative as well, I might have considered doing a split shot here, but I think we're probably better off just putting everything onto this one. So that's going to be 7 minus 1 is 6. He's going to have 1 minus 1 is 0, then 2 from the ASW. So 6 minus 2 is going to be 4. So we need a 4 or less. And we did not get it. For counterattack, they've got 2 plus 3 for the war period is 5. 1 red box in the op area makes it 6. Minus our 4 defense, but we are in shallow waters, so we only get to subtract 3. So 6 minus 3 is going to be 3. So he's going to be on the 3 to 4 row. And there are no modifiers in play. Four. You're good. All right. Well, I do want to reattack. I could slide over here, and then we don't have to worry about the destroyer anymore. And it'll be a -1 to our attacks, but that's better than a -2 to our attacks. So let's do that. And then we don't have to worry about being counterattacked. All right, so we just get the TDCs on the 2 merchants this time. Be great if they were both -3s. No such luck. All right, so these do get a -1 for the reattack round, but then +1 because we're in the other column now. So we can basically treat these as if they're face value. So that's going to make this guy a 0. This guy would be a 2. Just trying to think. A split shot would be in order here, but the way we've been rolling, I think I better just go with the everything on the top one again. So we've got 6. -1 for the merchant makes 5. -1 for the, -1 for the column over, yeah, makes 4. But then we get +2 from the TDC. So we're up to 6. So we need a 6 or less, and I was kind of dumb. I probably should have gone aggressive, but I didn't say I was, so we'll play it that way. So 6 or less. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. If I'd only gone aggressive. Oh well. That was my mistake, so we'll live with it. There's no counterattack because he's 2 columns over now, so that's going to do it. Our runner then does a endurance check, no modifiers, so he's rating A, 5 or less. Nope. Wow. Bad luck so far this turn. All right, Sawfish, you're gonna do better, right? +1 to the event or a transit event roll. He's safe. Search and contact. 1 and 0. So again, even though the 1's in a white box and then we got a 0 on the second die roll, the first die roll would have also had to be 0 to get a sub encounter. So he's just going to go straight to his endurance check. He did encounter no contact, so he gets a -1 to the roll. He is also an A rating, so he needs a 6 or less to stick around. Come on. All right, he's going home. What are we at here now? Still just 3 subs there, so send the scamp in. Again, +1 on the transit event. 9, so he does have to roll again. +1 to each of these, but that's going to be 2 and 3. That's not going to be anything. Yep. All right. So search and contact for him. He gets a 3 and a 4, which I think is just in there. Yep, sparse. 4 is going to be small convoy. So a sparse small convoy is just 2 and 1. Well, this looks quite promising, assuming these are in fact not warships. We'll set up here in column A. You know what? Let's just go aggressive right off the get-go here. We're going to be confident that, yes, that's all we got. Our 3 little baby merchants. Well, if things fall in the right place here, if we can get a nice split shot on these 2 and then take this guy out in the reattack round, we might be able to get a super skipper here. I believe it's just, I don't remember if there's a tonnage requirement. I think it's just 3 ships in 1 attack phase. So these are all going to be -1 because we're aggressive. Good. Not so good. All right. So this is a -2, which effectively makes him a 0, and that's a 0, which basically makes him a 1. No ASW to deal with. I think we might still want to try a split shot here. So we'll put, we've got an odd number, so we can put more against this one, since he's 1 more. than him, basically. So we'll put 4 against him and 3 against him. So they'll end up needing the same target number. So we can just figure it out for one of them. So here, 3, he's a 0. So yeah, basically 3 is going to be our target number. And we have a -1 DRM. So each of them will need a 4 or less to hit. So we'll try the top one first. Ooh, we did it. But I don't think that's enough to sink him. Let me see. Nope. 3 with our -1 for our torpedoes is just damaged. So he is damaged. See what we can do against this guy. Again, needing a 4 or less. Yes, but then only a 1, so he didn't even get damaged. Okay. No counterattack. Let's go for the re-attack. We'll stay aggressive. Get some new TDCs out here. These are all going to be -2 now. Unless it's a -3, then it'll only be bumped down to -4. Alright, so we got a 0, a -1, and a +3. Oh, we're definitely leaving that guy alone. Alright, well I think we might still be able to take a split shot here. Let's see what we have. So this guy's damaged, so that effectively makes his defense only 1. And then this is a -2. So he's at a -1. And this is a -3, which makes him a -2. So a -1 and a -2. So this time if we send the 4 up here, we'll still have the same target number. So if we send 4 here, 4 -1 is 3. Oh, I hope did I take that into account last time? I don't remember if I did. I'll have to review the video. I might have forgot to subtract the torpedo value from each of my attacks last time. But I rolled a 0 on this one when I hit last time. So even if I was off by 1, that still would have been a hit. But okay, so that we're sending 4 at this one. -1 makes it 3. Then -2 for the defense. But then we get to add 1 back because he's damaged. And then that's a -2 TDC, so that lets us add 2 back. So we're again at needing to hit on a 4. Well, our number's a 4 this time. With the die roll modifier, we'll actually hit on a 5 or less this time. So let's see if we can get both of these guys. So 5 or less on the damaged one. There we go. And that 5 -1 is still gonna sink that. So he is sunk. One more ship, another 1,000 tons. So these will both come back down to 0. And we'll bump up the ship's 10 spot and the tons 10 spot. So we're now at 240 on ships sunk. 30 more to go till we can try to improve our torpedoes. And we're at 990 for tonnage. Let's see if we can make it 991. So again, we need a 5 or less on this guy. No. What a shame. All right, well, at least we got something. This guy went back to A, so B and A. All right, so our endurance check, A rating, but we did go aggressive this time, so we have to add 1, so we need a 4 or less. Hey, we got it. So he gets to stick around. All right, I think next I want to get some guys into the South Philippine Sea here so we can take advantage of that ultra area. So let's move there is a connection here from the North Philippine Sea. So we'll move the grayling down here. He will have to make a transit event check, but only a 9 will matter. There's no narrow or shallow waters involved here, so it's just a straight roll. And he got a 0. So for search and contact, he gets a +1 because it's an ultra area. Ooh, but that's only a 2. Nothing. And again, that 0 on the second roll would only have mattered if that was also a 0. It has to be an unmodified 0. All right, well, disappointing. He is a B rating. And he encountered no contact, so he gets a -1, so he can stay on a 5 or less. He does. Next, let's move the albacore into here from the Bismarck Sea. Again, transit event check, but only a 9 matters because we're not narrow or shallow there either. Good. Search and contact with a +1 for the first roll. So that's a 6 and a 1. So it's going to be a sparse. 1 is obviously small convoy. So a sparse small convoy. Right, yeah. But we do get to add 1 to each of these. However, the dots represent no draw, and those don't get bumped up even if it's an ultra area. If it were a 0 like up here, then you would get to increase that for ultra, but not the dots. So we got 3 and 2 for our what we find there. Now we've got quite the mixed bag here. But I'm going to say let's just go ahead and set up here in column A. Let's go cautious. Now let's just go standard. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is looking really bad. It's at least going to be something. Yep. Wow. All right. Let's get our destroyers replaced. See what we're dealing with. We got the Kawakazi. I don't like that 1/2 turning into a 2. And we've got the Tanikazi. I don't like that 2 becoming a 3 either. Yeah, this is going to be another, pretty sure we're not going to get a shot here. Let's see, we get 4 TDCs, so there's only 4 things here that we can put them on. Oh, there's some -3s in there somewhere. Well, there's one. I don't think it's going to matter though. -1's over there. All right, so our ASW is 7. I mean, that right there is going to wipe out our 6 attack. So even if we went for, assuming this guy is only a defensive 1, we would have, these are both obviously way out of reach. This one, we assume his defense is -1 since he's unrevealed. You do not reveal him yet, not unless you decide to take the shot there. So that 1 and that -1 basically cancel each other out. The column shift, though, column over is another -1. So we got 1 from that plus our 7 ASW is going to put us at 8. So yeah, we got no solution on anything. So again, good news with that is there is no counterattack, and I don't think there's any exception for that for the aircraft. If no successful attack can be made in the first attack round, there is no counterattack, period. So yeah, let's bug out of here. Albacore is an A rating, so he's going to need a 5 or less. We didn't go aggressive, so just a straight roll. And he got a 5. So he can stay, play next turn. All right, how about the Growler? Only a 9 will matter for the transit roll. 2. And search and contact, we get a +1 for Ultra. There we go, 10 and 2. It's going to be high density. 2 is going to be a small convoy. So we have a high density small convoy with +1 to everything except the D column. So 433. That's a lot of rising sun flags there. I think I'm going to try my luck over here in column C, though. See what we can get here. Let's go cautious. That way we only have to flip these 3. Hopefully they're not hiding something nasty under them. All right, good. A couple 3,000 tonners there, nice. Only been seeing 1,000 tons so far. All right, nothing to replace, so we'll get our 4 TDC markers out here. Put a 4th one on that unrevealed ship in our column just in case these all turn out to be terrible. -1, okay, I think we can work with that. -2, we can work with that. And +3, so we will leave that guy alone. So we have to choose one of them to be unmodified since we went cautious. Keep wanting to say passive for some reason. Aggressive, passive. So, I mean, they're basically equal shots since that's a 2 - 2 and that's a 1 - 1. But let's make this one the unmodified. So that is truly a -2. That means this one is actually a 0 if we wanted to try to do a split shot. Well, it's not only is it a 0, it would also have a +1 to its 2 hit roll, so that's probably not worth doing. I think we'll just send everything at this guy. So It's going to be, we're a 6, so that'll be 5 minus 2 is 3, but then we get to add 2 back in, so 5, and no die roll modifier, so 5 or less. Come on. Come on, really? Why couldn't have those been reversed? All right. There's no counterattack. I think what we'll do for the reattack is be a little sneaky here and slide over to here. So we only have to reveal that one. And let's switch to switch to standard from cautious. We can't go all the way to aggressive. You can only do that big of a switch if you have a super skipper. So we'll do standard posture this time. We just have to reveal this one. Oh, good. It's a cruiser. I guess we should have stayed over there. Well, no, then we'd have to flip these. All right, so let's find out which ship that is. Going to be the Chikuma. He is aircraft capable, so he won't contribute to the ASW for the attack round, but he will contribute a half for the counterattack. All right, TDCs. Just need 3 this time, because that's all we can reach. They are standard, so these will all just be -1 to them for the reattack round. Unless they're -3s. Wow, really? That's terrible. All right, so we're going to have a -1 for going over a column. So we're starting at 5. Let's say we go after this guy. That's going to be 5 minus 1 is 4. -1 for the column over is 3. But then that TDC is actually a -1, so that would bring us back up to 4. So we need a 4 to hit that guy. If instead we went after the cruiser, we'd have 5. -5 for the defense is 0. -1 for the column over is -1, but then that's actually a -2 TDC. Which would put us up to +1. So we could hit this guy on a 1 or less. There's no die roll modifier because we're standard. So do we want to try that 13,000 tons with a 1 or less? Or do we want to go for a more sure 4 or less? Only 3,000 tons. But it would get our ship count going higher. Which I think at this point in the game, we want to try to get as many ships as we can. Try to get that torpedo value improved. So we'll just take the safer shot here. So we need a 4 or less. Oh, good. But, of course, the damage roll ends up only damaging him. Wow, I just can't win for losing here. We do have a counterattack now, so this guy contributes a half So, on the subject of rounding, I did get an answer from Brian Miller on how the rounding is supposed to work. Well, I got an answer on how it's supposed to work. I got an answer on what their intention was for it. And then I don't think they quite met their intention with the way they worded the counterattack stuff. But basically, he said the intention is you do all of the adding and subtracting first, and then rounding is the very last thing you do. So, like I've been doing for the combat round, you subtract it, keeping the fraction in the ASW value until you get your final result, and then you round that down. Which the way I've been doing it is you round the ASW up before subtracting, which ends up giving the same results. But then in the instructions or the rules for counterattack, it says to round the ASW value up before subtracting. Now, because we're rounding up the value that you're subtracting from, it ends up being the same. If you round that up, subtract, and get the result, or if you did the subtraction first and then rounded up the result, that would be the same. So we've been ending up with the correct answer both ways, I should say, even though technically we've been doing it a different method for the attacks versus the counterattacks. But in any event, so I actually talked to him briefly about if that is their intention to have it be all of the adding and subtracting first and then rounding at the end, that they should probably change the procedure for counterattack then to not round the ASW value before subtracting. But in any event, we'll do it the way it says in the rules for now, because like I said, it ends up being the same either way, for counterattacks anyway. The 1/2 will get rounded up to 1, and then we add in our 3 for the war period, which is 4. We have 1 red box in this op area, so that makes it 5. We're not in narrow or shallow waters, so we can subtract our full defense value of 4. So he's only got 1. So he's going to be on the 1 to 2 row, but we are in the reattack round, so he gets a +1 modifier for it. So that's going to be a 4, which on the 1 to 2 row is nothing. So the counterattack was ineffective, but so was our attacks, unfortunately. All right. Endurance check. We got no modifiers here, so he is an A rating, so he needs a 5 or less. 0. Why couldn't you get that last time? All right. So he will stay out another week, and then we've got the Pito coming in. Again, only a 9 matters for the transit roll. And then +1 for the search and contact. Makes that a 9 and a 2. So it's going to be a high density. 2 is going to be small convoy. So a high density small convoy for war period 1, with 1 added to each column except for the dot. So we're going to have 433. All right, here's what the Pito found. Too far for that one. Sea mist. All right. I'm thinking about going column C, just because I know there's some potentially better targets out there. Column A, we're probably going to end up with Some little 1,000-ton guys. I don't know. This is a tough choice. You know what? Odd we go column A, even we go column C. It's odd. All right. Let's do standard posture. So we're flipping 4. Oh, look at that. That was actually a merchant too. Yeah, like I said, all babies over here. And let's try this guy. Oh, of course, you're a destroyer. All right, let's see what he's going to be. We got the Onami. All right. For TDC markers. Nope. Nope. There we go. And probably not. All right. We got our 7 minus 1 is 6. We'll send everything here. 6 minus 1 is going to be 5. Minus 2 for the destroyer is 3. But then add 2 back in for the TDC. 5 or less to hit. No die roll modifier. Wow. It's really getting frustrating. I think that's the point, though. Although at this point in the war, I think they're having much better success. More than I am. Counterattack, we've got 2 plus 3 from the war period is 5 plus 1 from the op area is 6 minus our 4 defense is 2. So we are on the 1 to 2 row with no modifiers. Definitely whiffed his counterattack. All right. I think we stay here and just trying to think if there's any downside to going. If we go passive, we'll only get to, it would make a split shot probably not practical. So I think we'll stay standard just in case we get a couple of nice TDCs. Let's see what this guy is, another destroyer. Probably gonna make a split shot untenable anyway. Another 2 ASW, so we're at a total of 4 now. All right, let's get our TDCs. Nope. Okay, maybe. There we go. Okay, so it looks like this is our target. We've got 6 attack, minus 1 for defense is 5. Minus 4 ASW is 1. That TDC gets a -1 because we're in the re-attack round, so that's a -2. So we get to add 2 back. We need a 3 or less. Can we do it? No, we can't. Let's hope we can survive this counterattack. We got 4 now. +3 is 7, +1 is 8, minus our 4 defense. Puts us on the 3 to 4 row this time with a +1 DRM for the re-attack round. 3 should be fine. Yep. Okay, so now let's see if he gets to stay out or not. He is an A rating, so he needs a 5 or less. Those modifiers apply. And he does. So he will stay out as well. Alright, I think next we'll go to this other ultra area in the Marianas. It's like the Tunny can get there. A couple of those guys could get there. Actually, the Snook can get there. He's even better. Gotta figure out where we want to send the Pogie and the Gato up there too for their transit moves. Like, let's do that now. Let's send the Gato. Let's send both of them actually to Empire Pacific. So he's going to be traveling through here to here. Each of those only have 1 red box, and he's transit side, so he doesn't have to roll. And then same thing for the Gato, here to here. Only 1 red box in each, so no roll necessary. We'll flip them to patrol side so they can either patrol their next turn or maybe move off into one of the adjacent areas. Alright, so yeah, I think next up we'll go for the Marianas, but I'm going to take a break here and we'll resume here a little bit later. Alright, continuing with our operations segment here. Before we proceed though, I want to apologize. I just was listening or watching some of the video I had recorded earlier, and I forgot to turn off the notifications on my phone, so you're going to hear all these dings and beeps in the recording from me getting emails and other sort of notifications. I switched to this new different camera app. I was having some issues with the built-in camera app. Sometimes it wouldn't respond to the pause and stop buttons. So I found this one, but unfortunately it doesn't auto mute the notifications while it's recording. So I have to remember to do that, and I did not. But anyway, let's continue. We were gonna concentrate here on the Marianas next, so we can go ahead and do the Seawolf and the Whale, who are already there. We'll start with the Seawolf. There's no, well, there is a +1 modification to the search and contact for the ultra area. Oh, nice. We got a 9 and a 4. So that's going to give us a high density. I think 4 is small convoy. Yes. So high density, small convoy with all the numbers except for the dot there increased by 1. So 433. All right, here's what we have. I think we will set up in column C. Might be kind of dangerous, but let's see what we can find over there. We'll go standard attack posture, and so we'll flip 4 ships over. See that one? Okay, merchant, nice. Oh, one of those diligent escorts. So we have a chance to crash dive. Need a 1 or less. Nope. So he will get a roll on the diligent escort row of the counterattack table. He rolls a 3, which is nothing. No modifiers. And so let's continue flipping. Oh, and another diligent escort. Now, because he's in the same column, if you recall, we looked at this earlier. If a second diligent escort is revealed in the same column in combat event 5, deadly division occurred any time during this attack, roll as per the bullet above, applying the result. No withdrawals allowed. If combat 5 is not active, the second diligent escort is ignored. Remove, do not replace. Oh, okay. So we just get rid of him. But I believe he still counts as a flip, so he goes back into D. And then this will be our 4th flip. Oh, an aircraft. Well, that's no good. Let's see what we actually get for this diligent escort. He's going to have +3 to his ASW value. The Shigura. So +3 to his ASW. It can't exceed 6, but that'll put him right at 6. Boy, so we're going to have 7 ASW. So unless we get a really low TDC here, I don't think we're going to be able to make a shot. We'll have to put TDC markers on those other 2 unrevealeds. Nope, not that one. Maybe that one. Probably not that one. And definitely not that one. All right, so let's see. This would be probably our only chance, if there even is one. So we're going to be at 6 minus 1 for torpedoes is 5. We assume the unrevealed ship has a defense of 1, so that'll put us down to 4. Another -1 for being over a column. The TDC will actually add 1 for us, so that brings us back up to 4. But then, yeah, we've got 7 ASW, so we're at -3. So we have no shot, which means there's no counterattack. And I think that means it's time for us to go home. Or at least skedaddle out of here. Hopefully be able to stay out, but we'll see. So B rating, he's going to need a 4 or less to stick around. And he got a 9. So he will RTB. And we'll see what the whale can do. I think he did pretty well last turn. He's going to get a +1 for this roll, which is an 8 and an 8. So that will be a moderate density task force. So moderate density task force with +1 to all the numbers. Excuse me, sorry, this row. So it'll be 3, 4, 2, 2. No, task force, right. What am I thinking? War period 3, task force. I was right the first time. 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here's what we have for the whale. Get rid of this. Zigged away. And I think we'll set up in column C here. We'll go standard attack posture. So we'll flip 4 of these. Okay. There we go. That's a good start. Oh, these two, I think, in column D. Let's go for this guy. Ooh, nice. All right. No revealed ASW for the first round. That's excellent. So let's get some auxiliaries here to take their places. First one up top there will be the Kokuyo Maru, 10,000 tons. Nice. Next we have the Notoro, 16,000 tons. Very nice. And over here, I'm going to have AS. I'm not sure what that is. Tsukushi Maru, 9,000 tons. This goes back in D. All right, now let's see if we can, and this guy would be really nice. See if we can get a nice -3 on him. +3, -2, okay, that's not bad. +2, okay, I guess we won't go after him. And +1, so it looks like the Kokuyo Maru will be our target. We've got 7 -1 is 6, and then we're going to take off 3 for his defense, so we're down to 3. Then add back in 2 from the TDC, so we need a 5 or less. And a pretty decent sized number for the damage roll. A 1, but then a 0. Well, that was just the way things have been going this turn. There's no counterattack. For the re-attack, I think we'll stay here. And might as well, we're going to have to flip those 3 IJNs no matter what. So I'm thinking we might as well stay standard. What we got here? Oops. Oh, destroyer. Oh, we found the Shokaku. Possibly. See what, I think there's some special rules for when you find a named one. We'll look those up here in a second. Oh, and an armored merchant. Okay, so let's replace the destroyer first. We know what to do for him. He's going to be the Urakazi. And the CL, we know what to do for him. We got the Yubari. That was D. And then let's have a look here. The IJN rules, there's a table here where it talks about named ships from the original set and how to handle them. So for the Shokaku, it looks like we get either the Shokaku or the Zuikaku, assuming those are both currently in play. Let's have a look. There's the Zuikaku. And Shokaku should be in here somewhere. There he is. All right, so I'm guessing we just randomly choose one of these. So we will say odd roll will be Shokaku, even will be Zuikaku. Even it is, so it's the Zuikaku. Put him back in there. And this one goes back into D cup. Makes me wonder if we sink the Zuikaku, does that mean we remove the Shokaku from the mix? Not really sure. It's probably not likely to happen though, but you never know. All right, so with that taken care of, let's get our TDC markers. We'll go these three, obviously. And for our other one, I wonder, do we want to maybe take a crack at the Zuikaku there? I don't know, 5 defense though. We've got what, 2.5 ASW showing. Kind of hate not to try though. Yeah, let's do it. We have a better shot at either those two bottom ones, but just for a flyer, let's put that out there. All right, +2 on that. Nope. +1, not that great. Oh, here we go. -2, and that's going to be a -3 for our re-attack round. And no, we won't be going after the Zuikaku. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, and then the Zuikaku is with this little aircraft symbol. It's aircraft capable. So he doesn't contribute any ASW to the attack portion where we're attacking, but he will add a 1/2 to the counterattack. So, and this is a good opportunity, I guess, to demonstrate the quote-unquote correct way to calculate this when you have halves involved with on the attack phase or the attack round. So what we do is 7 minus 1 from our torpedo is 6. So that is the attacker's value. Then we would calculate the target's value, which is going to be his defense, 3, plus the ASW value, which we don't round up yet using this method. That's going to be 5.5. Then we add in the TDC, which is -3. So we're down to 2.5. And I believe that's it. So we're at 2.5 is the target's value. So 6 minus 2.5 is 3.5. And then you round that result down. So it becomes a 3. So our target value is 3. Now the way I've been doing it, which gives the exact same results, and in my mind is easier, is I just start with the attack value 6, and then I start subtracting things that count for the target. But then I round up the ASW value before subtracting, which would be the same as rounding down the result after subtracting. So I'll show you how that comes out to be the same. So 7 minus 3, minus 1 for the torpedoes, so we're at 6. And then we subtract the defense, which is 3, so we're down to 3. We subtract the ASW rounded up, which is 3, so we're to 0. And then our TDC is -3, so that lets us add 3 back. So we're at 3. So that's the way I like to calculate it. If you want to follow the strict procedure and the rules, you would keep the fraction in there until after you subtract and then round down. All right, enough of that. We kind of beat that to death on Board Game Geek already the last couple days. So 3 or less is what we're looking for. And again, we need a fairly decent number on the second die to sink it. And we got an 8 and a 0, so not even close. All right, then for our counterattack, remember now this guy is adding in a half to that, so the counterattack total is actually going to be 3 for the ASW, and then 3 more for the war period makes it 6. We've got 1 red box in the area, so that makes it 7. We're not shallow, so we get to subtract our full defense. So they're going to be on a 3 to 4 row, and they get a +1 to the die roll for reattack. So a 4 becomes a 5. On the 3 to 4 is nothing. So we get away. Our A rating means we need a 5 or less to stay around. Nope, we got a 6. So we will have to RTB. And I think next we will bring these guys down from the Bonins. Have them try their luck. So the SEAL is going to move down here, use patrol movement. They will have a transit event check on a 9. Nope. Search and contact with a +1. They get a 4 and an 8. I think that's going to be just shy. Oh no, 4 is in there. So 4 is sparse. And then 8 is going to be a task force. So we've got a sparse task force with 1 extra ship in each column. So 2, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got a couple of no solution markers here. Too far for that one. Evading. All right, well, we could play conservatively here and start in B. Or we could be a little more chancy and start over here in column D, I think. I don't know. We've only got 5 attack rating on this guy. I'm thinking it might be more prudent to start here and go cautious for the first round. That way we just flip these 3 over. Our hospital ship is back. 1,000-ton merchant, and of course this one's a destroyer. It is the, come on, focus. Just put it on the board. Ugura, maybe. All right. I hope when we redo the war mix at the beginning of June that hospital ship is no longer in column A. We'll do it this way. That's just bad all around. see, we probably don't have a shot here. Our 5 is going to get taken down to 4. -1 for the ship defense. -2 for the ASW. And -3 for the TDC. Puts us out of reach. We may have a shot here. Let's see. Be at 4. We assume the ship has a defense of 1, so that would be -1. -1 for being over a column. -2 for the ASW takes us down to 0. Then we get to add 1 back in for the TDC. Assuming we make that our unmodified, which we would. So yeah, I guess we'll see if we actually have a shot at that one. As long as its defense is no more than 2, we should. So let's try it. Ooh. Well, it's a battleship. Let's see which one it is. We're in the Marianas, so it can't be one of the anything but a 32-ton or a 68-ton. 1,000, of course. It's a 35-ton, so that cannot appear here. Just double check on that again. Yep. Anything other than 32,000 ton or 68,000 ton can only appear in those specific areas. And when an IJN ship is revealed that does not qualify, it just goes back to the cup, is not replaced, and we lose the TDC marker. So I don't know if that means we have to try a different shot since that wasn't actually there. I'm assuming so. So in that case, I don't think we can get anything. So yeah, no shot available, which means there's no counterattack. We'll take these off. We will slide over here for the reattack round and see if we can hopefully get a shot on that merchant. I don't really want to take down the hospital ship, but I guess if it's the only viable option, at least it's a ship sunk. Won't count for tonnage. I think we will have some sort of shot here now that this destroyer's not bothering us anymore. So our 5 becomes a 4. This TDC is actually a 0, so all we have to do is subtract the column over and the ship defense, so -2 for that. So we need a 2, or I guess I should have said 2. Going back to standard attack posture. No reason to be cautious now. But still wouldn't make any difference. So yeah, 2 or less to hit. Hey, we got it. 8 is certainly enough for that little baby merchant. So the Seal has bagged a ship. I've decided to start tracking all of the ships sunk by which submarine in a spreadsheet. I went back and reviewed my previous videos and got it all up to date. So I'm going to be starting to write these down as they occur. So we got the seal with a merchant 1T. This is week 3, April 43. All right, so let's add that to our totals here. Brings the tonnage and the ships sunk both up by 1. So we're now at 241 ships and 991,000 tons. All right, no counterattack. So we'll clear that off later. Endurance check. He is a B rating. None of the modifiers apply, so he needs a 4 or less. And he gets it. So he will stay out. And then we're going to move the plunger in. Again, only event check on a 9. He's good. +1 to his close and contact roll is a 4 and an 8. 4 is going to be just enough to make it into sparse. And 8 will be a task force. So a sparse task force on War Period 3 with an additional ship in each column will be 2, 2, 3, 4. That's just exactly what the seal found. So I'll get that set up. All right, he also found a couple of these no solutions. Too far for that one. Zigged away. This guy's even worse than the seal, so I think we should again be somewhat conservative here. We'll set up in column A, go passive, so that we only have to flip these 2. Perfect. All right, so we need our TDCs though. Get 3 of them. Go with the bottom one over here. Okay. That's great. So those are both the same, effectively. Since one's got 2 defense and one's got 1. With only 4 attack, we're not going to try a split shot here. So I guess we can go after the bottom one here. 4 becomes 3. And then that's effectively cancels each other out. So again, this is our designated unmodified TDC. So yeah, just a 3 or less for that one. And 9 and 6. Not even close. For re-attack, I think we'll stay cautious just for the favorable modifier in case there's a counterattack. Let's see what we have over here. Ooh, okay. Oh, and an airplane. All right, well, let's get that oiler replaced. With the Hai Maru. For defense. Definitely not going to be able to get that. That was from B. All right, so our TDCs. -1 on these for the reattack round. Ugh. All right, let's see what we can do. So this is a -1, so that's gonna again effectively cancel out his defense. We do have the 2 ASW from the aircraft now, though, so our 3 attack gets reduced to 1. So we need a 1 or less to hit this guy, designating that as our unmodified TDC since we stayed passive. 1 or less. Nope. Counterattack's going to be 2 + 3 for the war period is 5. 1 red box makes it 6. We subtract our 2 defense. Puts him on the 3 to 4 row. We have +1 for reattack, but -1 for cautious. So straight roll. 4 is going to be fine, I believe. Yep. Okay, then his he's a C rating with no modifiers, so he's going to need a 3 or less. And he got it. All right, that puts 4 subs in that area now. So when we move the Tunny in there, we're going to have a +1 die roll on our transit event check for congregating risk. So that means now an 8 or a 9 will trigger a second roll. Nope. Again, we've got our +1 for search and contact, makes that a 10 and a 5. So we've got a high density large convoy. Ooh, this should be nice. High density large convoy with an extra ship in each is going to be 4432. All right. Too close for that one. Kind of thinking I want to set up in column B initially. You know what? Let's go aggressive. We're going to do, that'll give us 5. We're going to do these 2. Do we want to do these 3, or do we want to do 2 of these and that one? Seems like every time I flip over a red ball in column C, it ends up being that diligent escort. I think I'm going to just go with these over here. Oh, combat event. Haven't seen one of those for a while. Got a 4. Oh, great. Mechanical troubles, end attack. There's no combat phase. Roll a die on an odd result. Place a damage marker and an RTB on the submarine, and it involuntarily RTBs. If even, Chief Engineer fixes the problem. We get to go straight to the done area with no endurance check. Great. It is even. So good job, Chief Engineer. We go to the done. That is kind of a shame. I was hoping to have some good luck with him. All right. It's going to take us up to, I guess we can go over to the Marshall Islands. Well, actually, he could come in here too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring him in. He's going to have congregating risk as well. So +1 on the transit event roll. That's fine. Then he's going to get +1 to his search and contact. Oh, and he got a 0. Only becomes a 1. And 7's not high enough to give us a loner, so he found nothing. His endurance check is a 2, which is going to let him stick around. He just needed a 5, or actually a 6, because he found no contacts, and he's an A rating. So he will be there again next turn. All right, now let's figure out what to do with the Stingray and the Skipjack. I think the Bonans is a better area for them to patrol in than the North Pacific, so let's have them come down here. The transit event check, only a 9 will trigger it. He's good. Now we're back to just straight rolls on the contacts. So 2, 5, I'm afraid that's going to be nothing. Yep. So he is a B rating who found no contacts. So he needs a 5 or less. Nope. RTB, at least it's a short trip back to the Sperry. And then Skipjack will do the same thing. So again, transit event check only on a 9. He's good. Search and contact 4 and 3 might be something. Sparse. Small convoy. So a sparse small convoy, just 2 and 1. Well, this doesn't look that great, but let's see what we can do. We'll just stay standard posture, I guess. You know what? Only got 3 to flip anyway. We'll probably only get a shot at 1. Yeah, let's go cautious. Okay. Yeah, that's not what we wanted to see. We need a couple of destroyers. Got the Amatsukaze. Yikes, 7-3. And then we've got the Asanagi. All right, well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to have a shot. I had to put one on the airplane. Let's see. If anything, it would be this one, but I kind of doubt it. Let's see. 5 becomes 4. -1 for being over a column. -6 from the defense puts us at -3. The aircraft puts us at -5. TDC only brings us up by 2. So yeah, we don't have a shot. So there is no counterattack, and we will leave. Again, I I don't see anywhere in the rules where there's a provision to just decide not to take a shot if you don't want to. Once you've placed, once you've done search and contact, it seems like you're committed to at least the attack round. But then if you don't have a solution on anything, then you can just leave. So anyway, B rating, he needs a 4 or less. Nope. He will RTB. We moved him down here, right? Forgot to move my current operating marker. All right, well, that just leaves these 4 here in the Coral Islands. Again, those are committed to the Aleutians campaign, so they can only patrol in these 2 areas and have to RTB to Dutch Harbor. So let's just go through them. S34, search and contact roll. 4 and 5 is going to be a sparse small. No, 5 is a large convoy. So sparse large convoy. It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 1. All right, this is what he has. This is zigged away. He's a 2 rating. So why don't we set up here? We'll go standard posture. We'll just flip these 2. Our hospital ship is back. And 1,000-ton merchant. All right, so our TDCs. Zero for that one, +1 for that one. That's not good, because he's only a 3 attack. So that puts him down to 2. He doesn't have a shot on either one of those, because this is a column over, plus the 2 defense is going to subtract 3 from him. Same thing there. So guess we'll stay in this column. Go cautious, so we only have to flip one of these. Destroyer. The Onami. And our TDCs again. -1 on whichever one we designate. Won't be that one. All right, so this will be our unmodified TDC. I think we may have a shot here. Yeah, because we're at 2. Minus his 2 defense is 0. Minus his 2 ASW is -2. But then the TDC brings it back up to 0. So we can hit on a 0. Nope. For the counterattack, he's got 2 + 3 for the war period is 5. 1 red box in the op area makes 6. We only have 1 defense. So he's going to be on the 5 to 6 row with +1 for spotted, but -1 for cautious. So straight roll. 7, ouch. 7 on the 5 to 6 is damaged. So for his endurance check, he is going to be a D rating, which starts at 2. And he is damaged, so that's a +1 to the roll. So we are going to need a 1 or less to stay around. Nope, almost turned to that 0 side. It's okay, I think we would have sent him home anyway with the damage on him. He will go back to Dutch Harbor next turn. Then we got the S-33. He gets a 5 and a 5. I think that's going to be same thing. Sparse, large convoy. 1, 2, 1, 1. All right, he has one here that was obscured by sea mist. Boy, this is not looking very good. I think we'll... Which one has the best chance of giving us something that's not actually a warship under a red flag? Probably column C or D. Let's try column C. We'll go cautious, so we only have to flip 1. Ooh, nope. He found the Yukikaze. Two TDC markers. Whatever's over there in column D is probably going to have high defense. Let's try this one in case. I don't think, we're not going to have a shot at anything. There's 2 attacks completely swallowed up by that ASW of 3. So even if we tried to go over here, we got no shot anywhere. So no counterattack, and I think he just needs to slip away. So his D rating, he's going to need a 2 or less. And he's RTBing. Next up, we got the S-30. 9 and 3. So he's going to have a high density small convoy. High density small convoy 322. Well, we're not catching much of a break here with these draws. This one is too far. Again, he's only got a tactical rating of 2, so I'm thinking we go cautious, so we just flip 1 over. The question is, do we want that one or that one? I'm thinking this one. Okay. And put one on there just in case. Well, a 0 I think we can work with. We'll need a 0 to hit, but let's give it a shot. Hey, we got it. But then we got a 0 on the damage roll too. So we hit, but it had no effect. No counterattack. Reattack. We'll stay cautious. So I only have to flip one of these. Let's do this one. Okay. Hopefully we get something along those same lines with a 1/2 or a 1. Nope, it's a 2. Kawakazi, didn't we just have him? I swear I'm mixing those around before I pull them. All right. Okay, let's try again. There we go. All right. So I think this is actually a -3 because of the reattack. So we're at 2. -2 for the ship defense. -2 for the ASW is -2, but then this brings it back up by 3. So now we need a 1 or less to hit. Hey, we got it. And that 5 will sink it. 5 minus 1 is 4. That's a red box. So the S30 sunk a 1,000-ton merchant. So we'll put him back in the A cup and rack up our totals for tonnage and ships by 1 again. Now the counterattack. 2 plus 3 is 5. There is 1 box in the op area, red box, so that makes 6. We've got 2 defense, so he's on the 3 to 4 roll. +1 for reattack round, but -1 for cautious posture. Right, we stayed cautious, yes. So 3 to 4 row, straight roll. A 0, perfect. I'm getting quite a few of those 0-0 rolls here lately. All right. He is also a D rating, so he's going to need a 2 to stay around. 3, not quite. And then last but not least, our good old friend. I just realized a mistake I made earlier. You guys are probably yelling at me when I was doing it. When I had that, those last 2, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the last 2 subs that were in this area should have had a -1 to their search and contact rolls for congregating risk. Search and contact, yep, -1 or more for congregating risk. And I completely overlooked that. I did it for the transit event checks, but I forgot about it for the search and contact. So hopefully that didn't have too much of an impact. I mean, neither of those 2 sank anything, so I don't think it had too much of an impact. Might have just saved us some time not having to go through a combat sequence. All right, so the permit. Straight roll again for this. 7 and 5. 7 is an orange, which is low density. 5 is going to be our large convoy. We haven't had to consult the low density chart very much this time. Low density large convoy, yes, is 2211. All right, the permit actually has a tactical rating of 3, and a little bit better attack. He's a P3 instead of an S. class. Yeah, I think column A looks like the best choice here. Let's hope we're not being fooled. We'll go standard posture. Yep, we were fooled. We were fooled. Oh boy. So we need a couple of destroyers. See, I am mixing these up. The Asanagi. I think we saw that one not long ago. I'm going to pull from one of the edges this time. The Wakaba. We haven't seen that one yet. All right. See if we can make anything happen here. Put one on each of these over in column B. And our third, I guess, try there. I highly doubt we'll be able to take him out, though. Would be nice to get rid of that 2 ASW, though, for the counterattack. Yeah, those aren't the greatest. Let's see if we can make a shot here. We've got 4 minus 1 is 3. Minus 2 for the ship defense. Minus 2, minus 3 ASW. Remember, if we round up before subtracting, it's the same as rounding down after subtracting. So that puts us at -2. And we're also another negative for being over a column. So yeah, that's -3. TDC is only going to bring us back up by 1. So don't have a shot there. This one is going to work out to be the same because the TDC is higher. But we assume a 1 defense here. But the math will work out to be the same as if there's were a 2 and a -1. So yeah, no shot, which means no counterattack. And I don't see any point of staying for a reattack round, so we'll just have him do his endurance check. He is a C rating, a little bit better. So a 3 or less for him. And he gets to stay. All right. There is one more thing that I thought of while I was up here talking about the Aleutians campaign. And that is those 2 subs that I at first tried to send down to the Sperry and then realized I wasn't allowed to. That actually had to go back to Dutch Harbor, which I believe were these 2, the S-23 and the S-32. There's a special rule for ships going into Dutch Harbor to account for the harsh conditions there, which I completely forgot about until just now. Now I got to remember where it is in the rules. But basically, if they're undamaged when they return, I think they have to roll on the damage table and may sustain some damage. I don't think it can be any worse than light damage, though. All right, I'm not seeing it here, so let me pause the video and I'll come back once I figure out where that's at. Okay, I found it. It's in the section on transit movement. RTBing to Dutch Harbor. Any undamaged submarine which RTBs to Dutch Harbor must make a roll on the damage table. Any results of repair 1 or repair 3 are changed to repair 1. So basically, unless they roll superficial damage, they come back to repair box 1. So we'll roll for both of these now. Should have been done, like I said, when they first came back. So we'll do black die for the S23, white die for the S32. And they both rolled 2s. Great. So superficial damage. So no change to what we had done, but we actually followed the proper procedure. So we'll have to keep that in mind on future turns as those subs come back. Something else that I uncovered while I was looking for that, I knew that it's regarding the early Gattos. I knew that when they got withdrawn, after they returned from being withdrawn, the early Gattos got replaced with their normal Gatto counterpart. One thing I did not realize is that if an early Gatto gets damaged, they, even if they weren't forced to RTB, they must RTB. It's voluntary RTB if they pass their endurance check, so they get to actually do it that same turn. But and once they get back to, they have to go back to Pearl Harbor, and once they get there, instead of, basically they have to go and at least repair box 2. So if you get a broom box or a repair box 1 result, you put them in repair box 2 instead. And then also once they come out of repair, they get replaced by their non-early Gatto piece. And then the other thing is that you can actually choose to voluntarily refit these guys once they're at Pearl Harbor. Instead of if they're undamaged, you can put them in the repair 2 box instead of in the broom box. And again, once they make it out of those repair boxes, they get replaced with their better playing piece. There can only be one of these being refitted at a time. So whether it was by one that's being worked on because it came back damaged, or one that you're voluntarily refitting, you can only have one at a time being done. Any others would go in the hold box. But yeah, that's something we need to keep an eye out on from now on. I checked to see there aren't currently any at sea that are damaged, any early Gattos. But yeah, definitely in the future when that happens, we need to remember to do that. And then also, I think I'm going to start voluntarily refitting those, because those are better. I think their attack goes up by 1, and I think their defense and tactical ratings go up as well. So definitely something we want to try to do as soon as possible. All right, with that, we have concluded the operations phase. No, we haven't. What am I thinking? We still got all these subs in the bases that need to come out. So let's take care of those. Already got 4 there, so I think we'll send was that 28 to the Aleutians. No transit event check required. We'll have him patrol there, although we'll probably actually send him over to the Curls once those other ones clear out of there. For Fremantle, we got 3 coming out. Let's just see what they are. They're all T-boats. So let's figure out where we want them to go. I'm thinking South China Sea. We've already got 4 in the South Philippine Sea. So yeah, I think we'll just send all 3 of them up to here. So they will be passing through The Java Sea doesn't have any red boxes, but the South China Sea does have one. And because they pass through shallow or narrow waters, they get a +1 to that. So an 8 or 9. But they're on their transit event side, so really just a 9. We'll trigger a second roll. He does get one. So both of these have a +1 modifier. Narrow and shallow. That's an 8 and a 7. That sounds kind of bad. 8 is going to be down here. Focus. 7. Yeah, that's a blue. Spotted, engaged, and damaged. Return to base. Well, that was a short trip. Spotted, damaged, return to base. Okay. See if the trout can make it out there safely. He does. Have him patrol there next turn. Put them on the bottom. And then the tambor. He made it safely as well. All right, Brisbane has 3 coming out. They are, S-boat. What's he doing down here? Oh, and an early Gatto. We need to keep an eye on that one. Probably could have refitted him earlier if we'd realized that. Yeah, because the fin back was definitely at sea on the first turn. Let's see. I think we can either go to the Banda Sea or the Bismarck Sea or the Solomons. I'm thinking the Bismarck Sea. That gives them access to the Carolines and the South Philippine Sea, which are some better areas to hunt. So let's do them. We'll start with the finback. So he's going to go here to here. No red boxes in either area. So none of these are going to require transit event checks. So we'll just send them all and put them on patrol side. All right. And then for the ones in Pearl, we've got another early Gatto there, the Greenling, that we need to keep an eye on. I think we'll have them go to the Marshall Islands. So again, leaving from Pearl, whether we go through the transfer route or the Hawaiian Islands, doesn't matter. No red boxes anywhere along the path. We will, I think we'll just put them patrol side. I think we got enough going on out here for now that we can just have them patrol over in these areas, the Bonins maybe. All right. Oh, and we got one coming out from the Sperry, the Pickerel. So he's actually leaving from North Pacific. So we could get him to, he's only a 423. Oh, that's fine. Let's have him try his luck out here in Empire Pacific. So he's going to be traveling through, each area only has one red box. There's no congregating risk. So he can come out to here. And since he's transit event side, there's no possibility, no possibility of a transit event. So we'll just flip him to patrol there next turn. And now I believe that concludes the operations segment. So for the conclude turn, or the end turn segment, conclude turn phase, we've got No weather that needs improving. The spotted markers we need to roll for, so we've got one here. 6 or less, they get to get rid of it. Nope. Got one here. He does lose his. Nothing there. These are just RTBs. Damaged. Oh, he is spotted as well. So let's see if he loses that. He does. And over here, no spotted. Nothing there, nothing there. I don't think any of these guys were spotted. That looks like it. All right, so then we just advance the date marker on to week 4 of April. So to summarize where we ended the week, we've got 242 ships sunk for a total of 992,000 tons. 13 subs lost. And that will do it for week 3 of April 43. We'll see you back in the next episode.